What's up? It's Tiffany. Before we get started on this week's episode, please be sure to send us your requests at booshakalakapodcast@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter X, BOOshakalakapod. You can also find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Instagram at BOOshakalakapodcast. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Booshakalaka podcast. I'm your host, Tiffany, joined my co-host, Pierre.
Well, I know play, and play is 100% all dog. Atomic dog, mighty dog, underdog, hippity dog, Snoop Dogg, and Dog. And everybody knows that Kid and Play are like this. Dogs of a feather. Now, how you knew that one?
I know this. This is 3. That's
yes,
part 3, right? Yes. Okay.
That's
all right.
How you know that one out of all of the ones?
Because, child, I was in love with Immature back in the day, so I watched that one over and over again, and then watched it as an adult. I was like,
it's hilarious. It's so fucking ratchet. Like,
it is out of they dumbed themselves down. The movies got dumber as they progressed.
Oh my gosh.
But I used to love, she was dog. Underdog, like. Well, we're not here to talk about House Party 3 or Underdog or Deputy Dog. We are here to talk about 2003's Wrong Turn. I had to ensure that we watched 2003's and not 2021's. Have you seen 2021's?
I've seen none of these movies. I didn't even know what this movie was. I thought this was like
my hair's sticking up.
I thought this movie was Wolf Creek. Like, I thought this was gonna be some kind of Australian outback murderer. And then I'm like, what the fuck?
It's close enough. Just like, it's close enough.
Can we talk about how short the movie was? Or do you want to talk about that later? Because it was very short. I was like,
it was I think it was an hour and 20 minutes, actually. It was looking at the runtime.
I mean, you didn't need to make it long. I'm just noticing, like, movies used to be really short. Like,
they could have cut more out, like Carly. I wanted her dead, and I was so glad when they got her.
When you watch horror movies like from back then, you can always tell who was popular. Because I was like, isn't that the girl? That's the... Oh, okay. I was like, oh, all these actors are hot right now in 2023. I'm sorry, in 2003. Thank you.
Who the fuck says 2003? Nobody. All right, so the synopsis for Wrong Turn. A group of friends, plus Chris, are left stranded deep in the middle of the woods after their cars collide. As they venture deeper into the woods, they face an uncertain and blood-curdling fate. It doesn't give anything away. I appreciate that much.
Yeah.
I only added Chris because it said a group of 5 friends. And I'm like, but what about Chris? Because he's our hero. He came to save. He fucked up the day, and then he came to save the day.
Poor Chris with his job interview wouldn't know with an unbuttoned, untucked in shirt.
But you know what? He is a medical student. He'll bounce back. He'll find another job somewhere else. They always looking for good doctors, you know.
Yeah. And traveling nurses.
Ethical, please be ethical. Black women do not have tougher skin.
Oh, let's not talk about medical racism in this podcast. That actually, I think I told you that my therapist was a victim of that. She went to the hospital because she was like feeling bad, and they were like, "Oh, we're not giving you no medication." She's like, "I'm a therapist. Like, I'm not trying to look for drugs. Like, my head's hurting." Turns out she had a fucking blood clot and almost died. Yeah. So it was one of those situations where her husband had to like argue with them for her. So it's like
advocate for her.
Yeah, and I'm
you know what? My doctor don't be playing. I'm like, hey doc, I got a blah blah blah. You do? Okay. She don't play with me.
It's crazy out here.
Because I don't got time to be abusing no medication. Shit. Right. I'm trying to stay alive, bitch.
Hello.
We first start off in the woods. First off, these aren't places that I go to. There has to be a cemented trail for me to walk down. That's a lie. I have ventured to trails, but they were widely known trails, widely known paths.
Yeah, like in Texas, like we have like trails with signs and shit. I'm just like, I'm not like, I couldn't relate to this movie because this is not me. I'm not a backpacker. I'm not like, I love hike. Like I do like a hike and a trail and seeing nature and stuff, like a mountain climbing stuff. But y'all just out here, and it's just
See, I've never been hiking, but I think no, I'm lying. I've been hiking before. I've never like stayed overnight. And the most I would probably
mm-hmm,
do would be like a state park where they have camping sites, they
mm-hmm.
have, swimming, they have places that are authorized to fish. It's public sanctioned by the state
Yeah,
or the
yeah, yeah.
city.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only place that I'm going camping in. Not no fucking woods in West Virginia.
Because as we progress, and you know how they just keep getting on top and looking out, and they don't see anything but trees. I don't understand the thrill in that. Like
Yeah.
and nobody had a cell phone. Did you notice this?
No,
Nobody had a cell
no.
phone.
He did. Chris had a cell phone in the beginning, but he lost service, so there was
Yeah.
nothing you could do. It's 2003, baby. You can't hold it up to the sky and get something extra. It ain't gonna happen, boo boo. But let's start off this movie. So we have Rich and Holly. I had to IMDb these babies' names. They're doing some climbing. They're mountaineers or whatever the hell you call them. And Holly almost falls, and Rich is like, "Ha ha ha! Who are you screaming for?" I'm like,
that wasn't funny. That wasn't
That's
funny.
not funny at all. They weren't that high up, but they were high enough. Bitch, if they were over 2 to 3 feet, they were high. They were high enough. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't understand. Because honestly, Tiffany, I'm like, y'all could really walk. Like it just seemed like they wanted to just climb a wall. I'm like, there are other walls in nature. Like that seemed like a little. You could have just drove up that. I don't.
Maybe it's practice for the real deal Holyfield.
Okay, all right. I'm like,
I mean, that sounds about So she's like, very funny, Rich. Rich. Ollie,
bang,
Ollie,
bang, bang.
free. Rich.
Bang, 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 slam. And you see Rich just slam on the ground. Like literally, it was just tally ho. And then he just slams. And then his blood starts hitting her face. And her rope, she starts getting pulled up to the top. And it's like yanking her aggressively. And she's like, But because again, these kind of people, their minds are wired. So I was happy that she did this. She took out her pocket knife and she just she cut the rope. Like, bitch, you ain't about to pull me up there. And then she tried to grab the other rope, but slipped and fell. Like, this is when I'm like,
I don't know. We don't know how the pulley system works. So let's say she did everything correctly.
Okay.
we haven't been there. We're not experienced.
We're gonna give her a Mario star, and she goes tumbling down to the ground. And of course she's hurt, but she still tries to crawl back to their truck. The truck is not very far away. She does not get up. Well, she does get up and start running, but she trips over some barbed wire.
Mm-hmm.
And
but she still keeps going.
Yeah, she keeps going, but then she's dragged and it's over with, baby.
I will say, what I liked about these killers, they didn't play with you. They gonna give you 2 to 3 seconds to figure it out, and if you don't, you're out of here.
I had a problem with these killers because they didn't get to figure it out. They didn't know what was going on. Like they didn't have there was no nothing. There was no time to be like, inbreds. They were just like,
you know what? That's not true. That's not true because we're gonna get there, and I'm gonna talk about it. We're gonna circle back to here.
Rich and Holly didn't like.
Oh no! Those babies, they were goners immediately.
It was just hungry.
They said that they were 50 miles outside of civilization. So that's where we're going to put these people, 50 miles. And I don't know what 50 miles looks like over a clearing, but let's just say it looks very, very far. So we get our title credits. We see newspaper clippings of deformed people, inbreds, blah, 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 West Virginia, blah, 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 massacre. Da. Then we see our main character, Chris. He's driving through the mountains. He's on his way to an interview. He is a medical student, and I guess he's just, I don't know, going to a panel interview to start working at Cedars-Sinai.
An interview at 7 p.m.? Girl, please. He about to get touched by Harvey Weinstein. I'm not, at 7 p.m.?
Look, is he going overseas and we got our time difference?
What I would have liked for them to do, just a little minor detail, I would have liked for his interview to be in the morning, and he has to get there. And then he's gonna get there. He needs to go to sleep and then
yeah.
I would have liked
he has
that.
To be there at 7
a.m. Yeah. Just because 7 p.m. I don't know. I get I guess
West
they were
Virginia
trying to.
is not too far from North Carolina. I think.
Yeah, I feel like they were trying to give him an urgent kind of feel, like, oh, I gotta get there, gotta get there. But I would have just been like, I gotta get there because I gotta. Find get to my hotel. You have to check in. I have to check into my hotel, and then in the morning I have an interview. But that's a small thing. I mean, it didn't really matter because he ain't making it. He wouldn't have made it.
I was about to say he runs into a roadblock. All the trucks are lined up. He can't get through that way. So he starts driving and he sees the teensiest sign that says gas station 1 mile. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. I've been going on road trips for a very long time. Riding in the car with my mama. If the sign don't say rest stop or don't say Exxon, BP, Shell, Amoco, we ain't stopping at no gas station. No, bitch, you need a name. So he pulls up to, there is actually a name on it. I can't think of what the hell it was called. McHenry's. They pull up to McHenry's gas station and he's like, hey man, let me start over. He's driving and his phone loses my light. Damn it. He's driving and he's trying to call the place. He's leaving a voicemail and he's saying, hey y'all, this is Chris. I'm going to be a little late showing up to the interview.
He's already 30 minutes late. He's already
30 minutes late and his phone cuts out. And that's when he makes it to the gas station. Like, hey man, you got a payphone? You got a payphone? The man doesn't even acknowledge him. He's just sitting there, I don't know, eating sunflower seeds or something.
He looks like, you know what he looks like?
What?
Big Bertha from Mario. The fish that eat you with the 1-2. That's
not the name of that fish, is it?
Yes. I used to think that they were just joking when they said that, but no, it's really Big Bertha.
Wow. I know that the stones, the stones that come down, they go when they come down.
Yeah.
The big one is called thwomp, and the small one is called thwimp. So I believe you when you say Big Bertha. So he doesn't see anything there, and the guy's like, hey, that phone don't work, man.
Well, then why? Okay.
He sees a map, and Chris is like, hey, what about this over here? Black Creek Rock, or whatever the hell it's called. What's this road over here? It looks like it goes around the freeway and looks like it could save about 15 to 20 miles. He's like, yeah, it looks like something. He does not tell him to take this path.
No, he does not.
I can't see it. And he does not tell him that. Oh, I see her. Yeah, I know who she is. The water world 3 on Mario 3. To take the path, and he's like, all right, well, I'm just gonna take it anyway because fuck it, Nantucket. He starts driving, his CD pops out, and he's reaching down to grab it. He gets the CD, puts it back in, and then he sees a dead deer on the side of the road. And he's like, oh my God, a deer. I've never seen one of those before in my life. He looks back and bam! He hit I'm so glad nobody was in that car.
Yeah, like it, because the way it tore his
so hard. How fast was he driving? I had to take a drink. He knocked the shit out of that car.
Yeah, that was brutal.
It was scary. So we get our main characters. They run out. Like, oh my God, are you okay?
They were very nice, considering. They were very nice.
One girl, this is my mom's car.
Oh, and the other guy, you were doing? Yeah.
He was driving a little too fast for it to be a dirt road, and you don't know where you're going. I only speed when I know where I'm going, baby. Yeah. Unless I'm on the highway.
Especially when you just see that you just saw a deer, and you know that their deers are around here. Come on.
Yeah, and might run out in front of you, and you might thwomp them or thwimp them.
I'm not doing this today.
So they're all like, well, he's like, well, why were y'all parked in the middle of the road? And they say, well, our tire, we had a blowout. And then here comes Jesse, played by Elijah Dushku, around the corner. Yeah. Oh no, Carly's like, somebody left their barbed wire in the middle of the street. Can you believe somebody just left barbed wire in the middle of the street? And Jesse's like, nobody left it in the middle of the street. It was tied to a tree. This was intentional. And
that was great, by the way, because that's exactly her demeanor throughout this entire. Like, everybody be like,
oh yeah,
and she'd be like, no. Like,
again, we're in the woods. I'm gonna bring this up every podcast, every horror movie, every episode. Okay. I'm turning around and I'm riding that bitch till the wheels fall off, baby. I'm not gonna be stuck in the middle of the woods. I'm sorry. To everybody. Sorry to this man. So they all decided to split up. The fuck
again. So the four of them, Carly, her fiance Scott, Jesse, and Chris, they go walking because they're gonna find someone.
They said that they were gonna go back to the gas station.
He was like, no, there ain't. Yeah. He's like, no, ain't nothing there. The phone don't work. So they just decide to go forward, and they're gonna go, and they leave the stoners. That's what they call them. They leave the stoners,
Evan
with the
and
cars.
Francine.
Yeah, with the cars, and they fuck. And it was just, why did she take his shoes off? Did you notice
Baby, I
that?
don't know. She
Why
needed
did
them
she?
feet rubbing on the back of her legs or something while they were
Something
doing
like she
it.
took his shoes off, and then she pulled him off the hood of the car, and his feet were now in the dirt. And I'm like, why would you? What's going on?
Just seems dirty and stank and nasty and uncomfortable, and just you're just asking for BV, ma'am. You're just asking for it. Like you can't put nothing down there. That thing is sensitive.
Mm.
But again, they're split up, and now they're hungry. Francine and Evan are hungry, and he's
They looking through all Chris' car and shit.
I would be too,
Because
because you never know who he is.
Yeah,
you never
true.
know who he is. So please, I'll be looking up in there too. They can't find anything. They realize he's a medical student. They're like, oh, okay, blah 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 blah. So Evan hears something in the woods and doesn't say, "Hey, Carly, did you hear that?" He just walks off and goes to check it out. Like, first thing I'm gonna suspect being in the woods is it's an animal, and it might not be an animal I want to talk to. It might not be a squirrel. You know, it might not be a raccoon. It might be a snake. It might be a buck. You know, they're not playing with you. They're not a little deer. They gonna beat your ass.
I'm surprised you didn't say the big one, the bear. Cause baby, even if you see like, cause
we choose the bear.
We do choose the bear. However, we choose the bear, but I know depending on what color it is, I might have to fight.
If it's brown, lay down. If it's black, fight back. If it's white, you dead.
No,
it's not white, out of sight. What is it?
If it's white, good night. Because it's over.
Well,
like they say, because they say by
the
time a polar bear sees you, it's over with. And I'm like, I want to see the outcome of this. Because I'm like, okay. What do you mean? Because like, how fast is it? What you mean by the time it sees me, it's over with? That's crazy. That's crazy.
I'm good. I don't want to see one. I see them at the zoo. They chilling.
No. I just want to see someone else get attacked by one, so I can see what they mean by the time it.
I don't want to see that either.
Yeah, I gotta know. I'm sorry, I gotta know.
No, baby. I don't want to see that. So he just walks. So the gang searching for a path or way or help out of there is split between the two in the woods. So we'll go over the two in the woods still to just get them out of the picture because I don't want to go back and forth. So Evan hears something, and Francine's like, Evan, he's not responding. She's done called his name like 10 times. He's still not responding. I guess she thinks he's playing a joke on her. Whatever. She goes into the woods. She finds an ear, baby, with Evan's earring still attached. Blood everywhere. She's about to leave. But guess what? Like I said about our guys, they don't play. They throw.
He grabs a bear. Is that a bear trap? Or no, it was barbed wire. It was like, I thought it was a bear trap. But it was.
I looked it up online. It's called garrote. It said it garrotes her. So I guess that means when you tie somebody's mouth. Yeah. Joker, yeah. Or what's it called? Ball gag. Yeah, ball gag, and then it had barbed wire on it too. So
yeah,
it's a wrap. She didn't even have time to. She was scared for all of, I don't know, 10, 12 seconds.
Yeah, it was very, like, they don't really have, like, this is refreshing for horror movies because they don't have time to do shit. Scream, cry, pee, beg, please, it'd be over with. Okay, so those two are dead at the door now.
Aren't playing. They're out of here.
We're done. We're done with this whole scene because we never see those cars again. And so,
we sure don't. We don't go back that way at all. We don't go back that way. Even though that's the way that they came from.
So the other four, they out here playing pranks on each other and shit. We ain't got time for this bullshit. Like, I'm so glad I don't have friends like that. Like, we in the forest, we stranded, and you.
Bitch, I'm scared too.
Because my thing is, y'all need to be alert because y'all know that somebody did this shit on purpose.
Yes, that's the big thing right there.
Whether they were like, I don't even know. Like, there's no prank about you fucking popping my tires. So the fact that they're not alert and they like, I'm disappearing. It's not the fucking time for this shit.
Like, I could see if they had hit that deer. If they had hit that deer.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh God, we did this. Tensions will be lower, but tensions are risen, baby. They at the top. Like Jesus. So, Yeah, they're walking, and I guess they see a car on fire. Was that what they saw?
What?
They see something to the left, and they're like, "Let's go check it out." And they're walking, and they venture deeper into the woods, and they see a
Oh,
cabin.
they see smoke. They see the smoke
Oh,
from the cabin.
smoke. Okay,
Remember,
thank
because
you.
it was
So
they
they
were
see the
cooking
cabin. Yum yum. Give me some.
cooking some gumbo.
There's like 10 cars in front of the house, and they're like, okay, well, let's see if they got a phone. The fuck?
It. I mean, it just looked like death. Like, I don't know how to describe this house.
And
It
I
looked.
know it was funky. It's stinking up in there. Them bitches do not clean. There's no. As soon as they open the door, they would have got a whiff of
Yeah,
death.
death.
But we spend 10 minutes with these bitches search. This is the part where I'm like, there were more than enough signs for you to get the fuck out of here.
Yes, I would like to go over them. So they open the door because
Please.
first Chris is just gonna go in and look for the phone, but then Carly like, I gotta pee now. Scott and Jesse like, this ain't right. This hell no. Like Jesse is like, even just looking at the cars, Jesse like, hell no. Like she's doing it. You know what we need her to do, but everybody else is like. So they all go in, and why they all went in, still like, I would be like, maybe you look out. I don't know. I just feel like there are ways to not be all in the same spot at once, because they put themselves in a very precarious situation. So they go up in this bitch, and death. Like, there's flies, there's food. It's just like, there's flies, there's like rotted food, there's
food. Weapons.
Yeah, there's stuff on the stove. They don't grab not one. There's stuff. There's
they
like
found
gumbo.
A bunch of keys. They find a bunch of keys.
They find a bunch of equipment. Like, it looks like a store. It looks like Academy.
They find Helen Shivers' Croaker Queen crown. Everything is there. Like, why would anybody that living out in these woods have a crown like that? Like, Scott is ready to go. Scott is done. He said, this is enough. And Carly, we can leave as soon as I find the bathroom. Bitch, you are going camping. Do you think there's going to be porta potties or outhouses out in the woods?
And then it's like, they're not even just walking, like trying to find the bath. They're tiptoeing around. So, yeah, it looks very odd.
Tiptoeing in my heels. I love you, T.S. Madison.
Enjoy yourself. So she finally finds the bathroom, but of course, girl, it's like shitty and
she's like, oh, pew.
Like,
I have been in situations. Let me tell you a nasty story. It's not too nasty because people are gross. You know it. You know people are gross.
Because I know you are talking about the porta potty.
After Hurricane Katrina, there weren't like really anything. There wasn't anything open down there, so we were trying to find like snacks. I was with Amanda. We were trying to find snacks. Anything. Kmart on Pass Road was open. So we were going in there just trying to buy whatever we can, you know, buying stuff. And Amanda's like, oh, my stomach hurts. I got to go to the bathroom. I was like, okay, cool. So she goes to the bathroom. She does what she's going to do. She came out and I was like, okay, now I got to go. There was like pee on the floor. There was number 2 splattered all over the walls. Okay. I'm like, why would somebody do
that?
That
has nothing to do with the hurricane.
Why would somebody do? Well, I guess somebody hid out in there or something and did all that. But I'm like, why would you do that? There's toilets here. Even if the toilets were full, you could have shit in the trash can for all I care. But what my moral of my story is, the pee went straight back up into my bladder because I didn't have to go anymore.
Oh, okay.
It went away because I was so grossed out. My mind went to something else, which is what I feel would have happened with Carly. There have been times I opened up a porta potty and I was like, nope, close the door. You can wait, baby. You can wait. You've been training for this since you got potty trained.
I'm itching.
You've been training.
I'm itching.
So they're still looking around. Carly sees teeth, loose teeth. Then she sees like jaw teeth with teeth attached. And they're still searching around like they're in fucking World of Disney, getting lost looking for ears and shit. Like, why are you still looking?
Wait a minute.
You know how big World of Disney is?
Just like, wait, what the fuck? Not looking for
you could be in there for hours. And Disney Springs used to be called Downtown Disney. That's the only time I liked it. Anyway, like, what more do you need to see?
They were pissing me off.
Please. What more do you need to see? Chris found like body parts in the fridge. opening up Tupperware and shit, bitch. If I go into the kitchen and I open up my fridge, I'm like, damn, that Tupperware been there for a while. I don't even know what's in it. I'm just gonna pick up the Tupperware and I'm throwing the whole thing in the trash can. I'm not gonna see what's up in there. So I damn sure am not gonna see what these fucking people living in the woods in this dirty, stinking ass house got in there. Like, come on. This is when they were stupid. This was their stupidest moment. But after this, they do get smarter, except for Carly. But guess what, bitch? Too late, because I've been calling them the Three Amigos the whole time. The Three Amigos show up to the house, and
now they're like, oh, we gotta get out, we gotta get it. But
right. So did you get the name of the Three Amigos?
They have names.
So you have
not when they be goo goo gaga. Not when they be doing that the whole time.
You got hold on. You got Three Finger, because they only got 3 fingers. And then you got Sawtooth. And you got One Eye.
I hate you.
They come into the cabin with Francine's corpse. While the group couldn't find a back door to get out. So they just had to hide in the house. Yeah. They come in with Francine's body, and baby, they get to chopping.
2 of them are under one of their beds, and then 2 of them are in a closet. This was good horror for me. Just the way they slammed her body on the ground, and then her blood started going towards them. And okay, when I say that these motherfuckers were smart, and when I say smart, I'm being nice, but just the way this shit was happening in front of them, and they did not fucking scream. I was so proud of them, because when the way they just slammed her body, and then the blood started coming, and then Jesse just like I love the self-control. Like, they had a lot of self-control. Because it's just human nature. It's human nature to freak out, and I've really appreciated the fact that they were like, "Hell no, I'm not making a fucking sound. I don't care if my mom about to be put on this table." So I greatly appreciate that. But they just take her, and like Tiffany said, they start hacking her up. Now the 2 under the bed can't see. But the 2 in the closet, they're looking through that keyhole, and they see every fucking thing.
Francine dead, baby. Where was Evan?
Remember, Evan's still in the truck.
Oh.
So, and why I don't know why they took, I didn't understand that part, because they arrived in the same truck, so I didn't get why they didn't take his body out. Maybe they got tired, because maybe hacking her up, maybe hacking bodies up takes a lot of strength, because these motherfuckers go to bed. They all take a nap.
Look, they had the itis.
They take, and then we see they cut off her leg, they cut off both her arms, but the rest of her is still there and still a little juicy. So I guess they're gonna go back. I'm like, I don't know how eating bodies works. I don't know.
Have you ever wondered what it tastes like?
Well, they say we have too much sodium, so that's why they don't recommend cannibalism, because humans have too much sodium. So no.
That means you don't have to season anything, huh?
I don't know if you watch Yellow Jackets, but that's also.
Let me tell you.
Go ahead.
Are you ready for why I stopped? I started watching Yellow Jackets, and I was like, "Oh, this is good."
It is good.
Into the thing. Oh my god, that bitch found that black box.
When she found that
destroyed it, I turned it off. I said, because this isn't what I want to see. This isn't what I want to see. So I turned it off. I don't like that. I don't like intentional. I would rather they've never found the black box, or when she found it, it was already destroyed.
Yeah.
I can't sit there and hate a character this whole time, because I knew once she got that praise from them, and they were like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you!" I don't know, what did she do? Fix a tourniquet or something like that. She did something to help them. Yeah. And then she went and destroyed that black box because she had never gotten praise before. I turned it off. I refuse to watch it. I refuse. I'll see what happens when it's over. Is it over now?
No. Season 3 is like
So when it's said and done, I'll go read about what happens on Wikipedia. I refuse.
It's actually very, very good, but
I don't really like skipping forward timelines. I don't like watching stuff like that.
Oh, you don't like the backwards and the forward? Oh, okay.
I'm not really a fan of that either. So that's why I couldn't really get into Lost.
It works though. It works because, like, you know how you originally only see 3. Well, shit, you ain't get that far with you only saw that episode, but it's like originally that you only think that.
I'm lying. I saw like maybe 2 or 3 episodes after it, but then I still couldn't get. It was.
Because she's still alive.
These shows are really slow. And because they're skipping back and forth, it stretches everything out. It's like watching 2 seasons in one. And that's
Yeah.
and I just couldn't. It just my attention was just shot. I couldn't watch. Like
It gets
it
good when
depends
you
on the
realize,
shows. It
yeah,
depends on the show. Some I can finish. Some I can. That was what I couldn't.
it gets really good when you realize that more than the people who you initially saw in season 1 survived, and like they just keep bringing people in and like, oh, you survived too. Oh, you survived too. So
But
it's
that just sounds like the writers don't know what they're doing and they're just adding people at the end.
I mean, you
like,
can tell because one thing the criticism of that show is they start with all these girls, and then it's like you don't see them in every single episode. So I'm
like, baby, where are they? And they
like,
found
yeah,
the house.
where did these girls?
I got to the part where they killed the teacher.
Okay, wait, which teacher?
Or the coach.
Oh yeah. So
that's when I turned it off. And
but
they were in the attic and all that shit.
My thing is, but yeah, like because there were like there were a lot of black girls, and that's why I was like, oh, well, like there's a lot of black girls here, and then the episodes go on, and I'm like, where? I just saw a black girl with kinky hair. Where the fuck did she go?
No, you're gonna get this 3C black girl, baby, and we're stopping it right there. We're not going any further because as an adult, we need her to have loose curly hair. We ain't doing no kinky.
That's why I was like, what? But anyway, yeah. So.
Yeah. But yes, I gave.
But there's cannibalism in that, so
yeah, no, I know that. I know for the most part of that. I know
for
the most part of that. I mean, shit, if you want to survive, baby.
But I'd be wondering how you're because they say you're not supposed to do it. But anyway, they're clearly
maybe maybe it's a part of the thigh or something like the outer thigh. Maybe the booties.
I can't imagine but that's another thing. I can't imagine we taste too good because we have a lot of muscle, and I don't. You're right. I don't want to be.
Okay. All right. So the cannibals finally do fall asleep, and instead of trying to kill them, R4 escape, and the door makes a noise. And what's his name? Chris grabs it with his hand. Oh my god, that was intense.
Because I was
like, why was that like the spring on the door?
Yeah, it was just...
Man, they fucked my boy Chris up. Chris was fucked up midway this movie, and he never recovered.
No.
Poor Chris. So they finally get out. They run out. The cannibals are like, "Ah, we're rake," sounding like Trilogy of Terror. What's his name? Zuni Fetish Dog.
It sounded like Ace Ventura when nature calls. And so...
They end up in a clearing with a ton of cars. Like,
you know what this movie reminded me of?
50. What?
House of Wax. Think about it.
It came out before.
Think about it. It's like it reminded me of House of Wax, like
bitch,
the abandoned car.
It might have been the same set. It might be the same 50
cars. Think about
outside.
it. Like their cars getting driven off the road. All these abandoned cars. They're keeping all the trinkets. Remember how they had those cell phones in House of Wax?
But these people are using these individuals for nourishment. House of Wax was using them for
nourishment. That is so. How dare you? These motherfuckers can go to
circle of life.
The Piggly Wiggly. The Piggly Wiggly is right down the street. You're not about to make a scene.
You think they got money? Them motherfuckers ain't never paid taxes a day in their life.
They got gas in their car
because they stole other cars. Stupid. So they hide behind the cars, but guess what? The three amigos know they're there. They can smell their dirty pillows from a mile away, baby. Because if it don't smell like face, ass, and death, they know somebody's there. They can smell the sweat. So they get over there and they try to get them.
They hatch a plan. The four amigos. I'm sorry, not the gang. I like the gang. The Scooby Gang hatches a plan, and they're like, "Hey, we need to get their truck. So if they're out of the truck, we need to lure them away from the truck so we can go get it." So Chris is like, "All right, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna lure them, and y'all go get the truck." I didn't understand how this was supposed to work. We gonna swing back and get you? So, so he goes running.
I mean, it worked how it was supposed to work.
It worked how it was supposed to work.
Oh, and arrows.
They should have taken an assessment of the weapons that were in that damn cabin.
They should have had some kind of shield or something.
They didn't grab any weapons, so I don't. They never. Oh, we're gonna get on it. So Chris started running. Hey, over here. He go running. They say, "Oh, bitch, pow!" Right in the kisser. They pop him in his leg. Chris is down for the count, and he's like, "Run!" Like and so they go towards Chris. So then Scott's like, "Baby, I love you. You're my fiance. I'm gonna survive this. We're gonna get married. We're gonna go and we're gonna get out of this." And so he goes running in the opposite direction. He's like, hey, follow me, follow me. They shoot at him, but I guess he's a little bit faster than Chris because they miss him. And he, like, when I tell you Scott is running like he was at the U.S. Olympics in Paris.
But he ain't running the right way.
He was, though.
He was running straight.
Oh, he wasn't zigzagging. He was running like Barry wasn't. He was running like Barry.
That's why he got hit by that car. You got to zigzag, baby.
So the girls run straight for the truck. Well, no, I'm sorry. They don't run straight for the truck. They go and get Chris. And this pissed me off because I'm like, once you have the car, I don't know. I just feel like it's like I would have just rode over there and then got it. But they have to pick him up and he has to hobble. And I feel like that takes too much time. But they still got him.
And I feel like his adrenaline would have been running. He would have been able to book it.
Right. So they pick him up and they like move him to the car. So when they open the truck, that's when Evan's body drops. And they all get Carly. This is when she starts pissing me off. Baby, get in this. Like Jessie was being so kind to her friend. She's like, Carly, get in. And I'm like, I would have had to, just how you just pop somebody in the back of their head just to get them going. Mm-hmm. I would have had to hit that.
Dig it hard.
Yeah, I would have just had to pop her a little bit because But they get in the truck and they start flying. But as they're flying,
ting tang, walla walla, bing bang.
Like, where did this bitch come from?
You gotta do it like this because that was 3 fingers.
Okay. That scared me because I was like, where the fuck did he come from? But yeah, he was following them, and then the rest of them start coming up behind. I'm like, y'all were just this way. Where did y'all come from?
They know the woods like the back of their fingers.
Clearly, so they're going in the car. They're passing them up. So they clearly, I mean, they're making it. The only person who needs to make it is Scott. And
you can see Scott.
Yeah, Scott is like at the top, and they're like on the road. But Scott is barreling, like he is running, like the fact that they even caught up with him was amazing because he is not stopping.
When he saw them, baby, he should have rolled down that fucking hill.
Yeah.
He should have covered his head like this and barrel roll.
So he sees the truck, and they're like, Scott. But as he's come, like the minute he sees them and he's about to die, like keep running down, he gets hit with one arrow. He stops. He tries to move a little bit.
Scott, what are you doing? Scott, what are you doing? Why are you just standing there, Scott?
Then you see the blood come from. And then the third arrow, and that's when you finally see this motherfucker done been shot up like Ace Ventura in When Nature Calls. And
no, I want to go with him. Let me out. And they should have let her out.
Carly, I fucking hate you. There will be other fiancés. But yeah, he did seem
really good.
He was like he was a great guy. I just wish that she would have volunteered to run instead of him. But yeah, he's gone, and that it was pretty tragic. But and she's talking about, I want to go back and say, like,
we don't have any weapons, baby. We don't have an Iron Man suit. We can't win.
It was just it was sad, but yeah, they run it. Like they not running, but they rolling in this truck until they get to a fallen down tree, and then the truck gets stuck in the mud. It's like, at this point, it's bullshit.
But I appreciate there being a reason why they can't continue on in that car instead of the lame ass, we ran out of gas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. I appreciate that.
And they can't back up because the killers are coming. So they have to get out. And it's stuck in the mud.
It's really just...
Yeah, you're right. There's nothing they can do. And at this point, I would have found a way to light a fire and burn the whole fucking woods down.
Jesus Christ.
I will be the reason only I can make forest fires because I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it because this is how I signal everybody. I am so sorry I burned down your woods, baby, but there's fucking cannibals out here. Y'all will forgive me.
This is that's actually a good idea. Just because we know how forest fires are and it's dry out there, it would just keep going and going and going. And they would eventually see the smoke like in House of Wax. So yeah, that's a smart plan. Poor animals.
I'm sorry, babies, and I didn't mean to do that to you. But once the police see that they had, 150 dead bodies out here, they'll forgive me.
Yeah. So this part pisses me off because Carly like, oh, I need to take a break. And now Jessie got to comfort Carly, and she got to hug her and kiss her and let her know it's going to be okay.
Oh
kiss her twat and all that. And then they go running off into the woods again. And so as they're walking, they look up and they see a watchtower. I did not know they fucking had these in the woods. And it's just like, it's where the radio is. I don't know the fucking point. I guess the point is to, help people who are lost, but people get lost all the fucking time and don't be found for 47 fucking years. There was just this lady who was she got lost in the woods. I was reading on the news, and it was like she had got lost for like 2 weeks, and she survived eating berries and shit. But
why
yeah,
she set a fire, bitch?
Well, she was on a trail, but then she went off the trail, and then she got lost.
Guess what, baby?
Yeah, but they eventually found her, and I'm like, there needs to be it's 2024. Okay, there needs to be something. There needs to y'all need to have a division in the army or something where y'all go out and y'all go into woods and y'all go in the Navy and y'all venture out into islands, castaway, so that you can make markers of where people could possibly get stranded if they're on shipwrecks. Because there's always an instance where I got lost in the woods and nobody could find me, or I got lost on this island and none of the boats came. Y'all need to. We have too much technology for it to be like, I shouldn't be able to get lost anywhere. I shouldn't be able to get lost fucking where.
Don't venture off any paths.
Yeah, again, I don't know. And the crazy thing is, my best friend, she be hiking and going and doing, and I don't ever see them in places that look like a killer would. Like every time they take a picture, there's a clearing, like it's just clear, ain't no trees. It's like I can see a light of the town next. So it's like I'm like, there are ways to backpack and camp without getting killed.
Yeah, you gotta plan it out, and you can be really smart about it. But here we are. They're in the watchtower. There's a radio up there. They start patching Chris's leg up.
It looks like the day is saved. I got really I was like, oh,
because he's a medical student, or maybe he's already got his doctorate or whatever, his doctorate degree, medical license. That's what it's called. What the hell am I talking about? Doctorate degree. But that too. So now that he's got that, he's able to patch himself up. But I mean, he still got shot in the fucking leg. I think it would have been better if he would have got an arrow to the leg.
Yeah.
Damn.
Then there wouldn't have been a bullet in your goddamn skin.
Yeah. So they find like little glow sticks that shine really bright. They're fixing that up, and then we hear the three amigos show up.
Why is that there?
The truck is so loud.
So but they have these fire torches, and they're just walking through the woods. So they're passing up the watchtower, and then what the fuck happens? The radio go off because whoever they were trying to reach out to finally heard them, and they're like, "Hey, where you are? Where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Screech!" So look, at this point, they hear the noise. They know they up there, so they like, "Oh wait, let's get it out." Look, we lost. We don't know where they are. We don't know where we're lost. We don't know where we are. There are murderers. There are cannibals. They're killing people. Help! Fuck! Help! Fuck! Like that's literally all the guys.
Send more than one person.
But my thing is, even though you may not know their location, you know where that watchtower is. So
I think because she said I'm by the watch. Carly didn't say it, but Jesse says we went to the watchtower. Like. Yeah. Damn, bitch! Come on now, shit.
They was doing too much. Like again, you talking about where are you? And how would I fucking know? Like,
right?
The sign says that's what y'all need to go on these trails and put some markers so people know where they are. Because like, there's
very much so.
How am I supposed to tell you where I am? Like that pissed me off.
Right.
Like I would have cussed them out. I'd be like, look, bitch.
the amigos can't get in, so they're like, you know what? Burn this bitch down. Guess what? That's what I'm talking about, baby. They light that fucking watchtower on fire, and Carly breaks a window, and she's like, I'm about to jump. And they're like, wait, Carly, you can't jump. She said, I'd rather jump to my death than burn. And I'm with her on that.
Yeah. But then Chris is like, well, I'm a medical student. Let me be smart. And he's like, oh, well, actually, she's right, because we need to jump on these branches. I get it. Like, I promise, I get the concept. Hell no. The way they jumped out this fucking window and was them branches.
They jumped like they were hang gliding.
Like, and these,
like, they put their hands.
Yeah, they weren't even like gripping. Like them tree trunks were beating the fuck out of them. I knew one of them was gonna die.
Chris got his balls hit because you saw when he fell, he's like, oh.
Yeah.
And he just sat there for a second, and then he's like, okay, guys, y'all can come. Okay, guys, y'all can come on.
Like, they got their asses whipped by these branches. So, like,
the best part is coming up, baby.
At this part, I really don't know because y'all burned down the watchtower. Like, did they see them jump? I'm like, because at this point, how do we survive? Because that was the best I had. That's all I got in me.
I guess they saw the leaves rustling or something. Well, they jump, but they don't stay put. They keep moving.
Mm-hmm.
That's how they see them. So they see probably like the leaves rustling and everything like that. So the kids, these are young adults. The YAs are running through the bushes, the trees, on the branches, and Carly gets separated from the two for just a half a second. They can see her.
I didn't understand how the fuck she, because she was.
I don't know.
Maybe she was scared.
I think they jumped, and she had to like 1, 2, 3. Geronimo. No, she had to get herself rearing up to go, and she didn't quite make it because I guess three finger comes and that axe goes perfectly in between her top and bottom lip. We were like, oh.
That
and he chopped her all.
That was an amazing shot
through the tree.
That was
all the way through the tree.
That was an amazing shot. The way her eyes just went out. I love that shot. That was a good shot for a horror movie.
And we were so glad we didn't have to hear her screaming no more.
And even look, you see, even Jesse was about to be like, he said, chill out.
Yeah, chill out. We don't want them to know that we're right here. Okay. Right.
So
okay.
Yeah.
So Jesse has her Julie James moment. Did you see that?
Yes.
And
wait, hold on. They hatch a plan.
Oh yeah.
They need to get
motherfuckers.
Right. They need to get 3 fingers out. I hate you. They need to get 3 fingers out of the tree. And so they're going to use the classic cartoon thing. They're going to pull the branch back, pop it in his face, and make. But Chris is like, I'll lure him over here. And she's like, I can move faster than you. Mind you, he's still limping. His leg, he got shot in the leg, and he's still trying to do shit. Sit your ass down, alpha male. Go ahead.
Bitch, sit your ass down and shut the fuck up. Julie's like, I'm right here. Not Julie, her name ain't Julie. Jessie is like, I'm right here. I'm right here. 3 Fingers said, well, here I am too. And she kind of falls back on a branch, and he's standing over her with the knife, and Chris says, and it knocked the tree branch busts 3 Finger in his face, and he falls. Like on the beginning of Cliffhanger when he fell off the mountain.
And he doesn't die. He's just hurt. And they all like, ooh. Like, I guess that means, oh, brother, I'm sorry, you're hurt. So they just keep walking, and they find a little nice little rock waterfall place, and they go and hide behind the water. Or
that was smart because they could also catch a drink. It's not smart if you're in the movie Anaconda.
Damn it.
That's terrible decision.
Damn it. Why the fuck? And I hate to know exactly what you're talking about. He tried to.
He jumped and it.
Yeah. I'm like, what the? So yeah.
LOL.
So yeah, they hide there and they just sit there and they talk, and basically, Jessie explains how this is all her fucking fault. Her boyfriend dumped her. So basically, the reason they were there was because her boyfriend dumped her, and he left her by voicemail. And she called her friends and told them, and they were like, oh, well, in order to celebrate your breakup, in order to make you feel better, we're going to take you on a fucking hike. I'm so glad I don't have friends like this.
Beach. Let's go to a hot beach. My friends are going to be, let's go to Cancun, baby.
Right. I'm so glad I don't have friends like this. Let's go to Disney World. What the fuck? Like, let's go to Magic Kingdom and get some corn nuggets. What? I don't want to go to no fucking, get the fuck out of here.
Let's go to Miami. The best way to get over a man is to get under another one.
Like, come on, Vegas? This is the best idea y'all came up with? She's like, yeah, that's how good of friends they were. And I'm like, girl, your friends, Scott was like the only good one. So, yeah. She has a dream that they're there, and she's like, oh my God, they're here. And like, no, they're not.
It was a very quick dream. I appreciate that.
And I didn't understand the point. But they're like, oh, we got to keep it moving. But which you didn't need to keep it moving. Because I mean, you didn't need to keep it moving. Until I would have actually saw that they were going to come around the river bend, I wouldn't have moved.
Mm-hmm. Right. But they decide to leave, and they're being very careful. They get to a part where they're kind of like on a hill, and they can look down and they can see a road. And like, a road, shit, we got to get down there. But it's kind of far stretch, and Chris is all wounded. And you can't just walk straight down. You're going to barrel roll out of there. So you got to find a way to climb down there. not enough time because Sawtooth throws the axe and it hits a tree right by Chris's head, and then he comes out and pushes Chris down the fucking embankment. So I mean, hey, you made it down. You made it down, Chris. Good job. And they kidnap Jesse.
This was weird for me. I feel like this was when you were like, okay, she's the final girl, because why? Y'all been cutting up anybody else. You didn't kidnap Carly.
Right, because Chris didn't have no way back up that mountain. It would have taken him forever to get back up there.
Yeah, so I'm like, why did y'all just take, like, that's the only thing. I'm like, y'all have not been, it's not been in your nature to take your prey alive this whole movie, but now you're gonna take your prey alive?
Well, I thought we were gonna have our obligatory.
Oh, yeah. It seemed,
scene,
yeah, especially with the tie.
But I don't think it was.
Yeah, I would hope that ain't nothing working down there. But yeah. So as Chris is like, he's like, Jesse, they take her, but then he sees a car coming, and it's a police car. So he rolls on down. This part pissed me the fuck off, and this is why, a cop, because he like stop in front of the car. He tries to stop it, and here come the police officer. What you doing? What are you, crazy? And he trying to tell him, look, there's killers and murders. I ain't got time for this shit. He's like, wait, where you? Like,
but I will give them grace because it was all of 6 seconds that officer got to talk to him before Sawtooth bow and arrowed him through the eye.
It just was.
But I mean, what do you do? What do you do if you're on 100 and somebody's on 0? How do you convince them within 5 minutes what you're talking about? How do you convince them?
I mean, he said all the good words. He said murder, like people are dead. He was like, people are dead. Like, you doing too much with this whole. It ain't time to be officer authority. Shut up, boy.
Well, the cop says, "I heard you guys on the watchtower. I've been looking for you."
Yeah.
So I'm guessing the cop went to the watchtower. But if you would have saw that the watchtower was burned down, wouldn't you have called in? Like, it didn't rain or anything. How did the fire get put out?
You have better questions than me. Because I
guess it just never caught on to anything else and just
maybe it just was the watchtower. Maybe because it fell on it and smothered it. I'll give them that. Like, the watchtower fell and then it just smothered.
Yeah, I guess. So anyway, the cop gets shot, and Sawtooth. Oh well, after the cop gets shot, Chris rolls under the cop car so he doesn't get shot with the bow and arrow.
Yeah, well, he tries to get in the car. He tries to get in the car, but the cop has the keys, and then he rolls under because he's shooting through.
How did Sawtooth move that fast?
Yeah, because he's shooting like into the car. This part pissed me off, and you know why? Because he's under the car. First of all, when the cop got shot, the whole time I was watching it, I saw the cop gun. I saw it. It was there. The whole movie. Mm-hmm. So even when he was under the car and he saw the keys and everything, and he knew the guy was coming, that fucking gun was right there. Mm-hmm. He didn't even think. He was trying to get the keys because he wanted to start the car, but he didn't even think about grabbing that fucking gun. Mm-hmm. And that's what pissed me off. They did not
That's
try.
The problem. Our heroes always think about getting away.
That's what it was. This movie was about, let's escape. It was never about, let me grab some shit and use it to defend myself against these motherfuckers.
You have to get, that's why it's always, boop, one hit, run. No, we already talked about this. Mm-hmm. We already talked about this. You already know, hopefully, as strongly as I feel about it, I never want to be in a situation like this, but if I ever am, I need to be that person to just get it done. Mm-hmm. And even if I don't kill you, even if I don't take it that far, I'm cutting off your Achilles. You're not chasing me.
Yeah, at the very least, cut a foot. Yeah, like again, Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Like, cut off an arm, a foot.
No fingers. What about that? No fingers.
Something to make.
What you gonna do?
What
you gonna do, Nubby?
Don't play because zombies. Anything that can help you not kill me faster is going
guess
to
what?
happen.
You only have one leg.
Yeah.
Something. But anywho, so Sawtooth walks around and looks. Chris has already rolled off from under the car. I'm not sure exactly where he went. So Sawtooth gets into the cop car after he takes the cop's body and throws it in the back. And Chris goes under the car again and hooks himself on. So he's being held on to the bottom of the police vehicle. And he rolls back to the cabin.
There's nothing on the road.
I was thinking the same thing. Like, what if there's a big ass rock under here? And he's like, just scratch his whole damn back up. Toe up, baby. Because you can't see in front of you. It made me think about Child's Play 2 when Chucky was hanging under the bottom of the bus. And you see his little legs go like this.
I hate you.
So we're back at the cabin. And we see Jesse tied up, so I'm like, oh god, they're about to do what I don't want them to do. But they don't even like motion towards that. They don't even do that. I think they were just gonna try. They were just about to eat ass. Like they were hungry. But I'm surprised because I would think that they would want to continue on having cannibal babies because all of them were grown men. You know, they were all grown. But who knows? Maybe they have more family members that live on the other side of the woods.
Well, what happened? The only reason I'm asking because there are sequels to this, so
it gets ridiculous. So the second one, they're shooting a reality survival TV show in the woods, and they get them. I can't remember the third one, but I know like the sixth one or something like that goes to like the incest part of the family's bloodlines. It's stupid. One of them, oh my god, the ending, it's crazy. It's so crazy. You're at the end and these girls, they get away and they're riding on a snowmobile and they're just going. They're going. You're like, yes, they survive. And then the scene switches and all of a sudden you see them driving on the snowmobile with no heads. There's apparently like some thin wire there and it chops both of their heads off and you just see the snowmobile driving and then it just stops and both of their bodies fall off. I was like, no! Because we were rooting for you.
That has been a fear of mine ever since You're Next. Yeah, You're Next.
Oh,
when she was running outside. Oh my god. That's a fear of mine ever since because I'm like,
that's some scary shit.
Because you can't see that. And so it's just like,
and it was snow, like bright white snow, so you couldn't see anything. That was crazy. I think that was either 3 or 4. I've seen almost all of them. They used to come on Sci-Fi, so I've seen like the edited versions and everything. But they just get real stupid. They're all like, I think just the first and second ones went to the theater. So we see her there. They're getting ready to chop her up, and then blam! Somebody throws a Molotov. Chris throws a Molotov cocktail into the cabin, and then he said, "Fuck it," and just drives through it.
I was so happy. This was some real. This was some real shit. That was some real shit because what do I have? What do I have to lose? What do I have to lose?
Nothing. The interview was canceled.
Not the interview. I'm just saying.
Oh, he knocked the hell out of one eye. That's what he did in one eye. And then he throws another Molotov cocktail. He fights with Sawtooth and knocks him the fuck out. And I was like, Chris ain't playing with you bitches.
Then he unties Jesse a little bit. And then he unties Jesse a little bit, but then one of the other ones, is it Three Fingers? Starts hitting him with a baseball bat. And so Jesse, the part. Well, no, it wasn't him. It was another one. It was like 2 of them that he was fighting with. Because Jesse gets the bow and arrow, and shoots one in the head. And I'm like, girl, since when you not do that?
I'm not sure. I think it was it 3 Finger that she hits?
I could, because they were fighting them both at the same time. Because I know they killed 3 Finger with the axe. But then they wouldn't die. Like, none of them were dying. Like, these were just like little bitty wounds to them. They kept regenerating like Wolverine. So I just was like,
they fight. Chris grabs a gun, but he doesn't shoot anybody. But they've got.
He only has one bullet. He only has one bullet left.
Oh, okay. So all 3 of them are down for the count. You got all 3 of them. So one of them got axed in the chest. One of them that got hit with the car, and the other one I think he got stabbed too. Yeah, Chris stabbed Sawtooth. So they're just down there, and our heroes are just looking at them, and you just slowly see them start to get back up. Like, they are acting like zombies. Like, bitch, I went on a 2-mile walk today and could barely get up to do this podcast. So,
Damn.
So I in my head, I was like, why isn't Chris shooting? But he only has one shot. So he sees like a gas can and he shoots the gas can and he doesn't do it from like a far enough range. So
at all.
The fire explosion bounces them over into the woods. I'm like, Chris, you could have backed up a little bit, baby. Your leg is toe up. What if that would have killed them too?
I thought it did.
he shoots the gas can explode, blah 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 blah, and they leave. I'm like, no, I'm gonna wait and watch you sons of bitches die. No, they leave. So they get into the 3 Amigos truck and they drive out of the forest, and they end up at the gas station. They get back to the gas station, and the gas
Big
station
Bertha.
attendant. Oh yeah, Big Bertha runs in and closes up the gas station. Like, you're not fucking with me. He thinks that it's the cannibals, though.
Yeah.
That's why
So
he
you knew
runs in
about
and
them
closes.
fucking cannibals, bitch. You knew about them
Well,
cannibals.
he should have told him don't go that way, but he doesn't. Chris jumps out of the truck, rips the map down, throws it away, and him and Jesse leave. End of movie. Psych. There's a mid-credit scene.
Oh,
you missed it. So we see it wasn't, the credits rolled for like 15 seconds and it popped up. You have the deputy coming. He received a call earlier and he's at the cabin. So he sees the remains of the cabin. You hear maniacal laughter, and Three Fingers survived the explosion and he kills the deputy. That was it.
of course he did.
But where was the arson inspector? Where were
Fire department.
something?
Fire department.
One, I cannot be a cop because A, no, and because B, hell no. Like,
No.
I'm not putting myself in the line of danger if you ain't gonna give me no backup.
Mm-mm.
I'm not doing it. But that concludes 2003's Wrong Turn. For me, this was actually one of the better YA
This is pretty good.
teen romps we got back in the day after Scream, because they were struggling to recreate Scream. I like that this was out of the ordinary and our people made smart decisions, even though our killers were pretty much indestructible. So for this, I'm gonna give this one a 7 out of 10. They made great decisions. The movie was quick. I watched it, like I was rushing to watch it before the podcast, and I was like, oh shit, it's over. So I mean, the woods are a very scary place. It's not someplace I would go to. Like I said, I ain't camping with your bitch unless we at the state park. And I had to get a permit to come out here anyway, so they know who all is out here. This movie has made me warn off West Virginia. I know some West Virginianites are probably great people, but guess what? I'm not coming to check. But yeah, that's about it for me. 7 from me.
I'm gonna give it a 7 too, just because there were no black people. So
right.
I'm gonna give it a 7. The reason it worked as a horror movie is because it showed the fear that you can make smart decisions. But if a killer's a killer, the killer, and a killer, and a killer's the killer, they're gonna get your ass regardless. And that's why I was like, that made it scarier, because it's like, I can do all these right things, but if you want me dead, you're gonna find a way, especially if you've been doing this for years. You know how to do this. You done.
We're not getting out of this.
Yeah.
They are professionals.
Exactly. So that's it. Just there was a new fear unlocked. So sorry, but won't be camping. Sorry.
It's like what was the movie?
You're gonna have
the
to
remake. Me and You. Famous Jet Jackson was in it. Hills Have Eyes. These were like the people from the Hills Have Eyes.
Yeah.
I'm not going to a desolate spot. That's just me. That's a fear of mine. Like, people have asked me, oh, would you live out in the woods? No. Would you live? No. You gonna hear me scream, baby.
Yeah.
I would do it.
It just doesn't seem like, no. How many movies do y'all have to watch? Like, no.
How many? I don't care if I got a gun. That ain't enough. If I don't have Iron Man suit, I'm not living out there. Okay?
Also, no woods, and then no all glass houses. Like, I don't know how many fucking, like, why do y'all have to have 86 windows in your fucking, first of all, it's gonna be hot. Second of all,
are they bulletproof?
I'm never gonna give the killer an opportunity to look in, like, so he can just be out there in the woods just hell no.
We're not doing it. Not today, not yesterday, not tomorrow. All right, guys, please be sure to join us next week when we review Drag Me to Hell.
Wow. Oh, wow. I'm interested. I've never seen this.
You are in for a fucking ride, baby. It's PG-13, but you are in for the ride of your life. It's so good.
Okay, then. I'm ready. I'm excited for this one.
All right, guys. Happy Labor Day.
Happy Labor Day. Bye.
Bye. Where did you hide it, Dan?